Hi, and welcome back to another Midjourney art tutorial. So today we're going to go back to the very basics as to how to get started in Midjourney. Now, this is fairly simple and fairly straightforward, but we'll go through it real quick and hopefully get you started making stuff in Midjourney as quickly as possible. I'm also going to include a really cool resource for you to check out later in the video, so stick around for that. So first, we're going to go through what is Midjourney, how to sign up, Discord, which you're going to need to have a Discord account in order to use Midjourney, how to use Midjourney once you're in there, some starting tips, and we'll go over a quick conclusion at the very end. So let's get into this. So the first question is, what is Midjourney? And basically what Midjourney is from a high-level perspective is a huge database that has all kinds of art in there and art info. So when I say art info, it's like who made the image, what kind of colors are in there, what kind of objects are in the image, what kind of style is the image made in, is it a photograph or an oil painting, etc. Just thousands and thousands of little bits of information that can help the AI understand what that image actually is. And then above that is the AI layer, which basically takes your text commands and converts it into things that the AI can understand and help it understand what you want and get you back an image that best suits your requirements. Now, that's basically what Midjourney is from a very high level. Makes text to images very easy for artists and non-artists alike. Now, the geekier version is, a headless data structure that uses machine learning algorithms in a generative adversarial network to do text to image transformation. If you guys want a better explanation on the geeky side, please do let me know, because I love that stuff. And I'll most certainly be happy to join into it. All right, so now that we understand what Midjourney is and basically how it works, the next step is joining Midjourney. Now, it's pretty simple. You go to midjourney.com, and it has a very matrix-looking kind of interface on there, and there's a button there that says Join the Beta. You click on that, you fill out a quick little form, and then it will send you a confirmation email. In that confirmation email will be a link allowing you to join the Midjourney Discord. That's pretty much it. You then go to the Discord and you start making art. So how do you go about doing that? Well, what you do, and I'll bring this up here real quick, is when you go to the Midjourney Discord, this is what you'll see. You will see all these various rooms in here. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to one of these rooms that starts with general dash and then the number. As you can see, there's 20 different ones. And what these are these are just playgrounds where you can go in and play with Midjourney. Now, one of the things that I highly recommend, I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom here. Actually, you know what? One of the things that you can do when you have a Midjourney is you can sign up for a full account. And one of the things a paid account allows you to do is it allows you to create your own Discord server and then import the Midjourney bot into that Discord server. So because there's a lot of people using this, I just want to cut down on the noise a little bit here. So if I'll go over to my own personal server here. One of the first things you want to do when you go into one of those general Midjourney chat rooms is you want to go /settings and then press enter once and then press it a second time. Now what that does is it brings up several default settings that you can use. Now these default settings you can change at any time, but in order to keep you from having to type them in every single time, you can set them as default settings. So the first line here, you have the different Midjourney versions. the version 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 4 is the latest version, and that's what I highly recommend using as the default, because that's going to give you the best photographic and realistic looking quality images that you can find. Now there's also Niji mode here, which is kind of a super anime mode, which I will explain to you in just a few moments. Then underneath the versions, you have MJ Test, MJ Test Photo, half quality, base quality, and high quality. Now, if you're using version 3, for example, MJ Test and MJ Test Photo are different settings within that particular version. They have no effect on MJ version 4. Then there's half quality, base quality, and high quality. You're given a certain, when you sign up for the free account, you're given a certain number of tokens per month that will be used on the number of art pieces that you create within Midjourney. And you have the ability to create half quality images, which will use half of your token, base quality, which is a 1-to-1 token use, and then high quality, which is a 2-time token use. Since I have a paid account, I just keep it on high quality, but for most cases, base quality is perfectly sufficient for anything that you need. Then underneath that, you have styles. These styles, as you can see, are currently grayed out because they only currently work with MJ version 3. If you want to play around with MJ3, the styles basically is how much Midjourney adds to the image. How much freedom it takes from your commands to add stuff that it thinks you might also like to see. And then underneath that, you have the upscaling options. You have regular upscale, light upscale, and beta upscale. Basically, I personally prefer light upscale, but regular upscale is very good. Beta upscale is kind of random. I've gotten really good results from it, and I've gotten very bad results from it. Basically, what the upscales do is it takes the low resolution image that you get when you do an initial image prompt, and I'll show you that in just a moment here. And it increases the resolution and gives you a bigger image. For example, the base image might be 256 pixels by 256 pixels. By using one of the upscales, it can upscale it to 1024 by 1024, or I believe the beta upscale will go to 2048 by 2048, giving you a much bigger image. But it's kind of in beta, so you may not always get the best results. And then the bottom line here, you have a few more settings. You have public mode and private mode. So what those do is if you're in one of those public channels for creating your art, and you click on private mode, all the things that you type in, only you see them. But if it's in public mode, that means everybody sees them. Now, there's some pros and cons to this. If you're trying to make money off of Midjourney, you may not want people seeing the prompts that you use. And that's perfectly fine. But public mode allows everybody to see the prompts, and everybody learns from everybody else, and the art quality gets better and better and better. So there's a balance between public mode and private mode. Then there's remix mode. Remix mode, when you make a variation of an image, which we'll go over in just a moment here, you can add things to that command prompt, which will make slight tweaks to the images that you are generating. Then there's fast mode and relaxed mode. Again, for the freer version, actually for any of the versions, you get a set number of tokens that you can use on generating the images. If you're using fast mode, you use tokens. If you use relaxed mode, you're not using tokens. So and the difference in speed is, let's say you're creating something on fast mode, you may get an image back within a minute to a minute and a half. Whereas with the relaxed mode, it may take 3 or 4 minutes. So there's not really that big of a difference, but one, you'll eventually run out of tokens and have to pay for more. The other one, you won't run out of tokens and you'll just be able to continue to keep on making art. So that is the settings in there. Now, before we get into prompts, I want to show you a couple of quick tips on how to do prompts better. Now, when you go over to the Midjourney website, right here, for example, the first tab that you're going to come to is your Home tab. Now, what the Home tab does is it shows you all of the generations that you've been creating. And so you can see what it is you've done in the past. Now, if there's something here and you forgot what prompts that you were using, you can hover over it and then go to, click on the little three dots, go up to copy, and you go to copy prompt. And what that will do is it will copy the exact prompt that you used to create this particular image. Or you can double click on it or click on that particular section, and it will show you what prompt you used. As you can see here, I use the prompt, humans can exist without AI. Can AI exist without humans? And this is the type of image that spit back, which I thought was kind of cool. Now you can use this as a base to make, add extra prompts to change some things around, get different results. The other thing that this website is very good for is if you go to the community feed, this shows you all the images that other people are creating. These are the ones that they did in public mode. So they can show up here and people can vote on them. And as you can see, there's some really stunning pieces of artwork here that people have created. Now, if you're just starting out, you may go, oh my God, how did they do this image here? And again, just like before, you can click on it there and it will show you the exact prompt I was using. Now you can either copy and paste it this way, or you can go to the three buttons and go copy full command, and it will allow you to paste that into Discord and create an image that is similar to this. So it gives you a good way of understanding what different prompts do. Now, what I typically do is I have a Word document where I keep a lot of the prompts that I've used in the past, just so I can revisit it and modify it and play around with different prompts that I know that I've used and that I like. So that's another thing that you can do. Now on here we also have new, which this shows art that has been generated by people pretty much in real time, so you can see what the community is doing. Again, these are only images that people have done in the public mode. And then the top one shows what the community thinks is some of the best images that Midjourney has put out recently. And as you can see, some of the images here are just amazing. And again, you can do the exact same thing here. You can go three dots, copy, full command, and then paste that into Discord and create something very similar to what you see here. Now, let's go back to Discord, and I'll go through a couple quick little things. So for example, I did one here where I typed in monkey wearing a hat, and then Midjourney put in these three prompts on the end, and those are based off of my settings. So what these mean is Q2 means that I'm doing a high quality image, and when I upscale an image, which I'll show you here in just a moment, I am using the light version of the upscaling, and then the --V4 means I'm using version 4 of Midjourney. So since we typed in monkey wearing a hat, this is what was returned to us. And as you can see, it gave me exactly what I asked for. Now, let's say number 3 here, I want to get an upscaled version of that. I would click on U3, and that would use that light version of the upscaling to give me an upscaled image. And then there's V3. And what I could do with V3 is this, the V stands for variation. And because I was using the remix mode, when I click on that, it comes up with this right here. So for example, if I wanted to say monkey wearing a green hat, it will then say, okay, fine. You want a monkey now wearing, you want that same monkey, but you want it with a green hat or something very, very similar to that monkey, and you want it wearing a green hat. Not a problem. So when I upscaled it, this is what was returned, an upscaled version of that monkey. So what you could do is you can click on this open original link down here, and what that will do is open that image into another tab, just like this. And then once it's in this other tab, you can just simply right click on it, save image as, and save the image to your hard drive so you can use it in whatever other applications you want to use it in. Now, we also did that variation of the monkey with a green hat, and this is what it returned. As you can see, we have that basically that same monkey with a green hat. There's some minor tweaks here. You can see the arms in a different position on some of them. The expression is slightly different. The face structure is a little bit different on some of them, but it's generally the same monkey in a same type of hat, but green. Now, one of the things that is something you want to take into consideration is Midjourney does some odd things. When you call out a color, for example, the green hat, one of the things that Midjourney does is it likes to go overboard on that. It says, oh, you want a green hat? That means you want pretty much everything else to have some green in it as well. So it puts green in the background. It puts some green in his fur. It puts green pretty much everywhere it thinks it can get away with it. Now, you can combat this by saying green hat, brown fur, and it will do its best to sort out the two and say, okay, fur's brown, hat's green, and try not to mix the two. Now, it probably will, and you have to do rerolls a whole bunch, but that's what generally happens. Now, speaking of rerolls, how do you reroll an image? Or what does rerolling mean? So basically, if I go up here back to our original image of monkey wearing a hat, and I say, you know what? This is kind of what I want, but I'd like to see some different options. I can click on this little icon here at the end here with the two arrows going in a circle against each other. This is called the reroll icon. So if I click on that, what happens is it will go down here and it will create a new prompt. Just like if I typed in /imagine and I typed it in again, it's just saves you the trouble of having to retype in a prompt. You can just click on that reroll and it will give you 4 new images. So as you can see here, what it's doing is it's returning us 4 different images of a monkey in a hat. And there we go. We have 4 new images of 4 different monkeys in different hats. So if you didn't like the first 4 it gave you, you click on that reroll button, it'll give you another 4. Now, I also mentioned Niji. I'm sure I'm mentioning that correctly, but if I did monkey in a hat and then I did --Niji or Niji, no space there, so --Niji, that will bring up an anime mode of that same prompt. So as you can see here, we got monkeys and hats, but everything's done in an anime style. So if you like anime, using --Niji will get you some really cool results in that particular style. Now, I've thrown a lot at you today, and I'm going to wrap this up real quick. But before we wrap this up, I wanted to show you one more resource that's out there. And the resource is called Promptomania.com. I'll be sure to include the link down below in either the description or possibly the first comment on this video as well. But Promptomania.com, when you go to the website, it's basically a free resource, and I highly recommend it. You come to the website, click on where it says Prompt Builder, then you click on Midjourney, and let's say we're going to do, let me just get rid of this real quick. Okay, we're going to do a monkey in a hat, right? What you can do in here is you can go through these different types of medium, like for example, art medium. Do you want it to be a drawing? Do you want it to be a storybook illustration? So I chose drawing. Actually, let me just back up here. Okay, so art medium. You have drawing, pencil, ink, chalk, paint, etc. So let's say I want it to be in a carving, right? I can then see, because I have the face chosen up here, I can then see what a face would look like if I chose wood carving. So let's add that here with the little plus sign here. And as you can see up here at the top, it builds the prompt for me. Image slash imagine prompt monkey in a hat, comma, wood carving. And I've got a basic idea as to what it looks like. Then I can go scrolling down to other types of things, like for example, camera. If I want different film types, I can click on that and it will give me an idea as to what that image will look like if I chose, let's say, Kodak Gold 200, right? It then adds it up here to the prompt, and we can continue going down through each one of these. I'm not going to go through every one of them today because we'd be here for a while. I think this video has gotten long enough as it is, but I strongly encourage you to go to this website, play around with it, get a good idea as to some of the types of prompts that are here. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of different prompts for you to play with, but these are not all the prompts. They're constantly coming out with new prompts. The AI is understanding new things all the time, but this will give you a great platform to learn from and then expand your knowledge going forth. So for example, if we take this prompt, monkey in a hat, slash, wood carving, Kodak Gold 200, and we go back over here to Discord, and I go with that, I paste that in there. I have no idea what this is going to come up with, but within just a few seconds, we went over there, we created a basic set of prompts, we copied them, bring them over here into Discord, and we'll see what this comes up with. Okay, so as you can see here, we got 4 wood carved monkeys in a hat using the Kodak Gold film style. It's a very interesting kind of look, but if this is what you were going for, that's how you would achieve it. And as I said, these things, play with the prompts. You learn so much from not only playing with the prompts, but using Midjourney to look at the prompts that other people used in order to achieve different looks and feels here. You can then modify them to fit your particular needs. And you can also use the Promptomania.com system to learn about even more prompts. Let me just go through and wrap this up real quick with some final things to go on. Now, for some tips, don't try using Midjourney for adult images. If you use it too many times, you can and will get banned from their system. That's not fun. It'll give you a few warnings saying we don't use this term. Trying to get around it could cause you to be banned. The first few times, it might just say you're banned from using the system for 5 minutes or so, or something longer. But if you continuously do it, it will just ban you outright from the system. The second thing is use the reroll button a lot, because the more you see, the more inspiration you have for things that you actually want the system to do. And when you're typing in prompts, it doesn't matter if the prompts are in uppercase or lowercase. It gets converted to lowercase when it's fed to the system. So it doesn't really matter whether you enter in uppercase or lowercase. Experiment with prompts and have fun while you're doing it. And then there's some basic prompts here that I just wanted to go over real quick. There's anime style, which is a prompt. Ninja, which is the difference between Ninja and anime. There is some differences, so I would recommend playing with both of them just so you can see what each one of them does. The dash no blemishes. This one is if you're doing faces and it puts stuff on the cheeks or on the nose, which it commonly does, you can put the dash no blemishes at the end of your prompt line, and it should remove most of that stuff that it puts on the cheek. Perfect hair. Perfect hair is a great little prompt to play with, and will get you some interesting results. Then there's photography, which will basically tells Midjourney that you are using what you want to have returned to you is a photograph. You don't want it to be a sketch. You don't want it to be a wood carving. You don't want it to be anything other than a photograph. So that helps it determine what kind of medium you want to see. Another one is like oil painting. If you want to return an oil painting to you, put comma oil painting, and it will know that you want to see an oil painting. You don't want to see a photograph or a wood carving. You want to see an oil painting. And then finally, one of the other ones that I recommend playing with is putting comma by, and then a list of your favorite, a single favorite artist or a list of favorite artists. So for example, if you want an oil painting by Monet, or a drawing by Escher, or some of the fun things is an oil painting by Monet and Escher. So it can take the two artists' different styles, combine them together, and give you something completely unique. So it's well worth playing with the types of artists out there. There's lots of resources for different types of artists. Maybe I'll touch on them in the future, but it's something that you'll want to play with. And then, of course, Promptomania.com, which has hundreds of different prompts that you can see and use, and, use in your artwork generation. I hope that that has been useful to you. If it has, please feel free to let me know by liking and subscribing and sharing this video to all your friends and family, etc. And I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I wish you a pleasant day. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.